Traders, welcome back to another Relentless recap. This one will be short and sweet, not that much to go over, only a few trades here today. Guys, I felt like today was one of the slowest days in history. Coming from a really hot December, a really hot couple of days to start the year, today just really fell off a cliff. I mean, our watch list stocks, ATNF, actually no, not ATNF, the other two, CTMX pre-market looking decent, right? Nice move starting after hours. It pushes up here really nicely, consolidates sideways, goes higher, and we have this bit of an ABCD going on here. It pulls back a little into the open. I thought it was looking good, getting ready maybe for a bit of a sideways consolidation, and then let's say, a nice move up, right? Something like this, and then a push. It just did not happen. I mean, it came down and it sold off, and I should have done a better job just leaving this thing alone. I tried for a trade off of a big bid, I believe, on this one. What was it, CTMX? Yeah, I tried for a trade off a big bid initially, and it did not work. Right, that was in over here at 92. So we had a low of 86. There was a huge buyer at 89. So I'm in at 92 at first. I'm like, okay, I want to come down and average a little lower in towards the buyer. But even hindsight being 2020, I think I could have left that position on. We did speak about it. It's a couple of cents difference. I gotta keep working on that. But we're back in average at 89, and it sold through the big buyer, right? 300,000 shares essentially. In fact, let's look at that on level 2, right? I do have level 2 of this occurrence, right? I do have level 2. It should be this one right here. Yeah, let's come ahead here. Let's come ahead. So look at this size. Look at the size of this buyer, right? Look at this buyer that's down here. 278,000 shares. And so usually when there's a big buyer like this, I'm watching for the stock to react immediately. And we don't, right? Hold on, let's come back a little bit. Let's let it play right here. I'm watching for this thing to react immediately. It doesn't quite go. And so, I was skeptical, right? I was a little skeptical. I'm like, okay, let's give it a shot here, right? But look at how it comes down into the buyer and the shares start to get filled. It's a huge order. I mean, that's a huge position. So we're coming down. Once again, I'm not sure why the DAS level 2 has this issue where it kind of shows the order twice. But it's only just one order sitting here of the size. But anyhow, it's coming down. People are selling, and I'm watching at it. I'm still holding because I'm like, okay, there's still a lot of shares off. 179 is still pretty big, and then you're gonna see it's gonna come down very quickly. Somebody's gonna sell 100,000. Boom, it breaks through, or they might have just canceled to come lower. Once I saw that, I'm out of there. So that was my first loss of the day. And then SPRB, we messed up on this one, buying a little higher. Hold on. So into the open, I was watching for a potential double bottom. And, we had a quick bottoming wick here. I was thinking maybe we would have had a chance to crawl back to highs. And a lot of this trade idea came from just understanding the market sentiment the last couple of days, the last month, how things are just steamy. So I figured, okay, today, the momentum has been, gradually coming down, right? Versus, a few weeks ago. But yesterday we're still seeing those crazy halts. I'm thinking today, all right, red to green is what's going to happen. We're going to come in here. Okay, stocks are starting a little red. Let's watch for those entries towards the lows, for those, rips back to the upside. Does not happen. I'm in, and initially I'm in here a little higher. Let's see, let's go back. So I'm watching at it. We got 95. Look at how, for a cheap stock, we've been seeing a lot of volatility in these stocks, right? So, here we are at 95. It quickly rips up here. And, we're in. And it's going to come down. We should have been more patient, I think, in this particular trade. We should have been more patient to wait for an entry closer towards 93, which was the low of the last candle. We didn't do that. So we ended up buying high. We'll let it play again here. So you can see how there's a bit of a spread and it's fluctuating very quickly. 95, 99, 94, 99, 95, 99. So I'm in there around 99 watching for that break of 3. Doesn't seem like it's going to happen. So I'm watching here. And I took the loss towards the very low. And there's nothing worse than this trade here because you're selling where you should in actuality be buying, right? So one thing I was telling myself, be faster, be quicker. I needed to cut this trade immediately. Hold on, let's go back a little bit more. Cut this trade immediately, and like, you know, to hell with waiting for support. Because what's happening is that once we're coming down to the support, the selling pressure initially is, you know, isn't seeming like it's easing up. And of course, this is all within like a, you know, 5-second time frame. You know, for other people who are trading much longer durations, you know, it might not, it might not seem like it makes sense. But for me, you know, this 5 seconds is like, you know, me watching a clock tick. It's like an eternity. And I'm like, okay, we come down to the support. I'm not seeing the selling pressure easing up immediately, like that green coming in. I'm like, all right, let's just cut it. And then we actually see some buying coming in. So it's one of those things where I could have just tried to sell as fast as I can, take that 3-cent loss, average lower, and then try and sell on the pop. You know, because we go from 92 to, you know, 98, I believe, right? So let's watch this. So I'm in it. It's going to come down. Should be out at 95 for a small loss, and then back in 92. And if right here it doesn't want to go, we just take the 5 cents. You know, and there we go, 302, right? But we want to see 305, 306, 310, 315. So I, you know, after that trade, I'm like, okay, let's be patient. Let's try and get it down here low. Can we see some green? There are some buyers coming in, but it does not hold this time. And we end up coming down. I'm going to try and stop out here. Gave it a chance to see if we were going to give a quick bottoming wick at 90. It's not going to happen. And I think this is a much better trade than the first trade. And right here at 89, they were like, yeah, we're going to cut this thing. It doesn't seem like it wants to bounce. It's not bouncing. I think that's a much, much better trade right there. And even that trade, we can stop out faster. You know? Even this trade, we could have stopped out essentially flat. But yeah, that was the day. Besides those 2 entries, there was nothing else that I saw that was looking promising. You know, so it was a quick day. It is kind of strange, to be honest. You know, coming from a day like yesterday to today, I mean, it's a complete different turnaround. I mean, just completely. Yesterday, HKD, you know, went to the moon, literally. Today we had nothing. The day before we had JSPR, VVSO or VVUS, something like that. So, you know, it's one of those things. One of the things I did mention though is that we had opportunities on some of the dips. Let's get rid of these show trades. Let's get them out of the way. We had opportunities on dips, and you know, bigger flushes like these. You know, high of 90, low of 66, and then a bounce. So from 66, we get to a high of 78. And, you know, I felt like today these were probably the better opportunities to trade. You know, and just trying to get those flushes and you know, seeing something on the pop. Unless, of course, you're going short and then, you know, you're kind of riding these opportunities to the downside. But, you know, look at this one here. Like, doesn't really, I mean, you know, we do have a small bottoming wick here. Let's see, 67 to a high of 85. But even down to this was a little tricky. You know, maybe some people took the 1-minute candle to make the new high, but, you know, it's just coming down so much. Yeah, but that was the day. So, you know, pre-market, I wonder if we're going into a cycle where pre-market is going to be what's hot for the next, like, few days, few weeks. And then maybe it shifts again. You know, this year, you know, I feel like going where the momentum is will be a good thing, and all that I'll need in pre-market is volume. You know, if we can get good volume like what we saw on let's see, like this candle here looks pretty good, 500,000 shares, but I believe JSPR had great volume in pre-market, or was it BLP? I think it was BLPH. BLPH had some excellent volume. I mean, look at this. Then this is the 1-minute chart, right? this is basically trading as if it is market open. This is why I wouldn't mind trading this type of price action. So even in the beginning, I mean, you know, okay, it starts very light. Once we get the pullback, we're already pushing up over 100,000. We start to go to 200,000, 185. Like, this is pretty decent. 272. We pull back, and then on the incline up, volume gets back in over the VWAP, 300, 350, 5, 3, you know, 2, 5, 4, 2, 4, 3, 150, and you know, this is exactly what I would want to see during the open. So, you know, if pre-market happens to be hot, we'll trade pre-market. I feel like it'll just make sense, but only under the circumstance that there's this type of volume. That way we'll have no issues with partial fills, using the limit orders, using the ladder, anything like that. But yeah, guys, that's gonna do it for today. Hit that thumbs up. It's been RT. Small day, small red day, but you know, we definitely want to capitalize. HKD, in other news, did drop down a lot. It did bounce in the open here in this range, but man, this thing took a big drop, man. Usually, you know, usually they're kind of holding up a little bit better, but you know, to start pre-market and then to end pre-market right back where it started, you know, around like $20. Just, I mean, insane, right? Insane. Man, the volatility, the momentum. Imagine being short and you're getting squeezed out, only to then see this thing come right back down here. It's infuriating. You know, I can only imagine someone who shorted and got squeezed out, and you come back an hour later and, you know, the thing is right back down. And so, you know, be careful out there, guys. Remember that day trading is risky. You got to be careful. You got to stay safe. You got to manage the risk. But anyhow, it's not to overtalk it. That'll do it. Like, subscribe. We'll be back tomorrow with some shorts. I am signing out.